Anytime you come into a contact with an officer and they look at your record, you think that you'll get the benefit of the doubt. Be careful. That's all I'm going to tell you is be careful. If you have that kind of attitude and you go into it.
Attitude, Judge, is just, I understand, I messed up. It's no one's fault but mine. Y'all really treated me like I'm constantly getting in trouble for it. I'm not.
Criminal court. Did you think this was going to?
All right, pause for a second. When a judge starts laying out the charges this early and this bluntly, it usually means one thing. The defendant may not fully understand how serious the situation is. A DWI charge by itself is bad. But when you add a family violence case on top of it, the stakes go way up.
Be rainbows and gumdrops? No. We set the case for trial today. That's it. I'm not here driving while intoxicated. You're also charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year on the assault case and or a $4,000 fine. And on the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. What have you guys worked out?
So for he's pleading time served on the DWI, 13 months deferred on the assault conditions.
Okay. This is how you understand this agreement.
I'm sorry.
You have two agreements.
This is actually one of the most important warnings you'll ever hear in court. Once a DWI goes on your record, every future stop becomes more dangerous legally. The penalties escalate fast. What might be a few days in jail today could easily become a month or more next time. Criminal records don't reset, they stack.
On both of your cases, on the DWI, they've offered you 3 days in jail, credit for the 5 days that you've done. But you need to understand that charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. From now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. So this time served, it's a minimum of 30 days in jail. Anytime you get pulled over, an officer's going to look at your record. They're going to see this. What do you think they're going to do if you smell like alcohol or dope? Right. I would never, even if you've had a sip of alcohol.
And here's the part many people don't realize. A family violence finding doesn't just affect this case. It permanently impacts your rights. In many states, it means no firearms, no ammunition, sometimes for life. One plea deal today can quietly reshape your future in ways most defendants don't even think about.
I would not get into a car because it is a humongous risk. As far as the assault of a family member is concerned, you've worked out an agreement. They're offering you a 13-month deferred. Deferred is a type of probation that if you successfully complete it, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. You must understand, though, that this comes with an affirmative finding of family violence, meaning that if you ever pick up another one of these cases, even if you successfully complete the deferred, you will be third-degree felony, a minimum of 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison. You can also never own a gun or ammunition as well. You will be signing this other piece of paper here, which is a written admonition that you are ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition as a result of this plea bargain agreement as well. What you need to understand, it's firearm is a very loose term, so you need to understand, if you don't understand what a firearm is or what a weapon is, you need to talk to a lawyer because that's one of the conditions. Do you understand? When you pick up criminal cases, there are a lot of collateral consequences, as you now see. It can impact you in ways that you never, ever see. That's why you need to strive to never pick up any kind of cases. And when you pick up multiple successive cases, it kills you. And now you're ending up with these things, with both of these. Anytime you come into a contact with an officer and they look at your record, you think that you'll get the benefit of the doubt. Be careful. That's all I'm going to tell you is be careful. Now, part of the agreement on the deferred, you need to also understand you give up nearly every right known to man by entering into this agreement. If you fail to live up to the terms of this agreement, we will issue a warrant for your arrest, put you in jail, and now you're looking at an entire year that you authorized to put you in custody if you violate this. You understand? For you to complete this successfully, you have to do a Batters Intervention Prevention Program, what's called a BIP class. This is a 15-week, it's 18, right? 18-week class that you have to go to one time a week for 8. You don't have to do this. You can set your cases for trial if you don't want to do this. Well, look, if you have that kind of attitude and you go into it,
Have an attitude, Judge, is just, I mean, I understand, I messed up. I messed up. It's no one's fault but mine. I understand that, but y'all really treated me like I'm constantly getting in trouble for it. I'm not. I mean, I understand. I got a DUI and I ended up catching another.
criminal court, did you think this was going to be rainbows and gumdrops?
No, I didn't think that. I'm just, it's just.
And here's the thing, though, Mr. Faris, what you need to understand is if you think it was bad here, that's what you're saying to me now. If you think it's bad now, wait till you get out there in the free world with even more conviction on your record. Life will only get more difficult with the more convictions that you get.
I hadn't been getting in trouble for the past year. I got that DUI in 2020. I have not been in trouble for it since then. So y'all treating me like if I'm constantly getting in trouble for it. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm really not.
How did we treat you that you're constantly in trouble? Tell me.
It's a conversation.
No, but Nathan, I want him. How did we treat you in what way?
I mean,
This is a critical courtroom rule. You can't stand in front of a judge, say you didn't commit the crime, and then plead guilty to it. Judges will shut that down immediately. Pleading guilty means you're admitting you did the crime. If you say you're innocent, the case has to go to trial instead.
I'm not saying y'all treating me in any way. It's just like the way you talk to me. I have like I'm just a hardened criminal. All I did was I was young. I made a mistake. I was 20. I made a mistake. I was drinking. It was just a mistake.
Please do not admit to committing the offenses. We actually haven't been found guilty yet.
You mean how I'm talking to you right now?
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you what to expect.
And I understand that,
And I'm
but
telling you how it's going to affect you.
and I understand that.
And I'm telling you that you can't own a gun.
That's fine. No problem.
You can't own any ammunition.
That is fine. No problem whatsoever.
If you pick up another assault like this, you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary.
See, but I didn't assault nobody. But I
You're pleading
understand.
guilty to assaulting.
But I understand.
You're
I'm not going to take your agreement. If you're telling me you're not guilty, then we're not going to do it.
That's how this works. You're pleading guilty and admitting that you committed a crime.
Okay.
If you stand up here and say that you didn't commit a crime,
No,
then you're not pleading
this
guilty.
isn't like, I don't, it's not a game. And I'm not going to let you
Understand that.
plead guilty if you're not guilty. If you're not guilty, then let's try it. I'm not taking your plea of guilty if you're not guilty. That's it.
At this point, I politely request that we reset this case, short distance, have the client's appearance be required.
I'm not here to play games. If you're either guilty or you're not guilty, but we don't plead people guilty when they're not guilty. That's not a game that we play here. And understand, the way I talk to you now is in hopes that you don't pick anything up in the future. Because
I haven't.
do you know how many times I hear that?
I'm pretty sure you hear it on an everyday basis. I'm sure you do. But I'm the one I am one of those persons that means it when he says it.
I'm going to hit the pause button.
You pick up a case in 2020, and now you pick up a case in 2023.
I'm going to hit the pause button here. What you're getting upset about is actually the language that the judge is required to say. He's not admonishing you about anything special about your case. He doesn't care anything about you. But what you're pleading guilty to carries with it these consequences.
I understand.
If you plead guilty to an assault family violence, there's an affirmative finding of family violence, as was explained to you. A second offense is automatically a third-degree felony. Third-degree felony punishment range is 2 to 10. If it's a strangulation, it's now 2 to 20 because it's a second-degree felony. This is automatic, has nothing to do with you, only has to do with what you're pleading guilty to. The DWI is similar in concept. If you plead guilty to DWI today and get convicted, which is what you're planning on doing, the second one is automatically a Class A misdemeanor with a maximum punishment of a year in county or a $4,000 fine. That has nothing to do with the facts of your case and your level of guilt. It's just the fact that you were pleading guilty. At the same time, I don't like this conversation. We're walking away, and we're going to have a later court date. So you go over here.
So if you want to continue on the DWI and tee up the assault, we can do that as well?
No, Judge. With him, we're not doing any pleas. At your request, we'll set the case for trial. I'd ask for 30 days. I'll have a conversation with him. And if he wants to do the plea, we can do the plea. And he will come up here with the proper understanding.
It's not a big deal, but We either set it today or we.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll just set it today because it'll be long.
Oh, goodness. You're charged with driving while intoxicated, possession of marijuana, and harassment of a public servant. On the DWI, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or 2,000. Are you high right now?
What? Like, what'd you say?
We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, man. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Oh,
On April 6, 2025, a traffic stop was conducted for the defense vehicle failing to maintain a single lane, following too closely. The felon captured a pit stop at a flashing red light intersection. The officer, on contact with the defendant, the officer observed the driver and passenger to make furtive movements towards the standing motor vehicle. The defendant was identified by extra driver's license. The officer observed slurred speech and bloodshot, watery eyes. No alcoholic beverage was emitting from the defendant's breath, and the strong of marijuana. The defendant admitted to having marijuana in the vehicle, and the officer located a leafy substance in the console of the vehicle upon probable. The officer also observed an open beer in the motor vehicle, and another Ziploc bag with large amounts of marijuana. The officer also observed a Ziploc bag of narcotic mushrooms, and a scale with marijuana residue on the surface located next to a large stack of other Ziploc bags. The defendant had $274 in cash. The defendant claimed ownership of the narcotics in the bag as well, and admitted that the items were marijuana and
Psilocybin,
excuse
the
me.
mushrooms.
Yes, sir. The defendant stated that she drank one margarita and that she also smoked marijuana. Certain sobriety tests were conducted, and the officer observed 4 to 6 clues on the HGN, 4 to 8 on the walking turn, and 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant refused to provide a blood specimen. The search warrant was obtained. The defendant flailed and resisted during the blood draw. The defendant continued to flail and spit on officers and was eventually transferred to a hospital. Blood draw was unsuccessful due to the defendant flailing. Finally, there was another attempt and the blood draw was successful.
Silas, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. If you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, you better address it, because if you don't, and it becomes a problem, I'm going to do it for you. And I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand?
yeah.
I'm sending you for a test right now, and you're to come right back. Do you understand? If you fail to take the test, if you fail to come back, a warrant will issue. Do you understand?
So you want me to take a test right now?
Right
Yeah.
now.
It's not gonna come
Stop.
out clean.
I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. Come back, and then we'll talk further. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer today. Take the test. Come back. You understand?
Okay.
You're not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to test you like crazy. Do you understand? If you use after today, it's not going to go well. As far as the marijuana is concerned, I'm going to test you like 50 days from today to ensure there's enough time for it to pass. If you continue to test positive, do you understand?
Yeah.
I'm giving you the opportunity now to stop on your own. If you're unable to, that's when things will go sideways real quick. Does she have a valid license? State? And then any prior DWIs as well?
It's a true first and her license is valid.
Okay. All right. So for now, I'm going to have you sign a reset with Ramona. I'm going to have you get with Felicia, and I'll see you in about half an hour.
Okay.
Please. You know, pills are a complete curse on our nation, because depending on what you're taking, they become so powerful, the addiction, that for you to get off, when you try to get off by yourself, you'll convulse, seize, you can have a heart attack. Not only that, you build up a tolerance and you keep taking. At some point, you will put your lungs to sleep and you die. It happens every single hour in this nation.
Yeah.
I don't want you to use. If I find that you're using, then I'm going to put you in jail and you're just going to stay with me. It's going to happen one way or the other. I don't want you to use, and I'm going to test you like crazy to ensure that you're not using. Do you understand?
What if I get it medically? Like
A prescription.
yeah, like a prescription.
That can still be abused. And if you're going to pill mills to just shop for prescriptions, I have a problem with that as well.
Mm.
Just because the last thing I want, there's an accident in this case, right?
One moment, Your Honor.
Like a car accident.
The last thing I want is another death on the street and something major to happen. So I don't want you to use. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Did we put a scram on her ankle, right? Yeah. That device is going to tell me if you're consuming alcohol at any time. Do not put anything in your body that has alcohol in it. NyQuil, cakes, candies, foods.
I took
gums.
Mucinex for coming, and I'm sick right now. So I do nasal spray.
Okay.
They told me that
Before you put anything in your body, read the instructions to ensure that there's no alcohol in it. I have everybody and their mom telling me here, well, I took NyQuil. I took this. It doesn't matter. You're not to use anything that has alcohol in it.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Don't use anything unless you have a valid prescription. And then I don't want you to abuse it, even if you do get one.
Mm.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with her.
Mm.
Again, I'm going to test you 50 days from today. If you're still testing positive for weed, it's not going to go well. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I had another question. Whenever I went to
Hold on. No. Ask your lawyer. I don't want you to, I've got a bunch of DAs here and I don't want you to say something that hurts your case. So ask the lawyer first. She can always come up to me and then we can talk. Don't just start asking things here.
I'm like, no, it was just about the court date. It was about the court date.
Caramba la bamba.
I'm like,
You can pick whatever day you want. I don't care.
okay. So okay. I'll talk to you about that then.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Okay. All right.
You didn't do anything until you sent her.
Okay, so yeah, I want to scram on her ankle and I want her to test weekly so that we know she's not using.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
I wanted to talk to you about that too.
Okay.
I'm going to waive all your fees. It's never about the money. I don't care about the money.
No,
It's about you not using and staying out of trouble.
I don't have no card.
She can tell you how to do that.
Monday, Thursday?
Yeah.
Or just?
Just one time a week, random. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you have to leave.
If as fast as we can get it to you.
Mm, yeah,
Okay.
today my dad too, but that's for today.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, Miss Ellis.
To be excused, Judge.
Yes.
I wanted to speak with her just a bit.
Okay.
All right, this next part is where the story takes a bizarre turn. Investigators in DUI cases always ask one key question. Did the driver drink before the crash or after it? Because that difference can completely change the case.
All right, you are Kara Lopez.
Yes.
Miss Lopez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On March 26, 2025, the officer was dispatched to a crash on Antoine Drive in Orange County, Texas. The officer learned that an unknown party called 911 at the time of the crash. It was informed by another officer who arrived on scene that the defendant being treated by ambulance. The officer informed the other officer that the defendant had already been transported to receive medical care. After spoke with Will witness, who stated that the defendant was assaulted and struck the witness's vehicle, causing damage. The witness stated that the defendant was trying to get alcoholic beverage medical to the defendant, and the witness came in contact with him. The witness stated that the defendant was still in the driver's seat at the time of their interaction, and that it was clear that the defendant was intoxicated. The witness reported that the defendant had slurred speech, was incoherent, and not making sense. The police stated to the witness, "I don't know where I am." The Report the defendant being called, the defendant itself on a crash. And immediately after that call, the defendant grabbed a bottle of vodka and consumed the entire thing in front of the real witness.
What?
Yes, Sherman. That's what happened.
She took a bottle of vodka and consumed an entire bottle of vodka in front of the will witness?
That's what I have here. The real witness noted that the defendant drank the alcohol bottle as if the defendant was drinking water.
Just when you think you've heard it all, man. I mean, really.
The officer observed an empty bottle of toxic vodka, and then went to the hospital to make contact with the defendant. The officer observed the strong odor of alcohol beverage from the defendant, observed that he could have slurred speech and glossy eye. The officer read the DIC form of the defendant when the defendant became coherent, and it proceeded to a breath test and blood test. The hospital discharged the defendant, and the defendant was transported to the Joint Processing Center, but was unable to perform the state arrest or sobriety test due to the defendant's failure to follow instructions and to keep the defendant's and the inability of the defendant to keep her head up. The officer took the defendant's failure to follow instructions as a refusal. The officer was unable to get the defendant to stand upright to perform HGN, and due to the physical conditions, the officer did not ask the defendant to perform walking turn or to walk stand. The officer concluded, the officer offered the opportunity to provide breath and blood. The defendant declined to provide breath or blood, and the officer proceeded with a residual search warrant for the defendant's blood. The officer was advised, the officer was advised the blood would be ready in 2 to 3 days. The officer noted that that's all I have.
Do you have blood back? Or no?
I do not. I'm not sure if that in the is referring to. The warrant was presented to the hospital, Your Honor, and a nurse advised that the blood is ready for 2 to 3 days. The officer.
Do you have any prior due advice?
What the judge is doing here is stacking bond conditions. That means the defendant can stay out of jail while the case moves forward, but under heavy supervision. Alcohol monitoring, ignition interlock, drug testing. Basically, the court is saying, you're free, but we're watching everything.
There was one in Caldwell County that was dismissed, Your Honor.
License?
Licensing. No?
This is the judge?
It's not on docket. I have to give you a case number. You ready? 255-7402.
Thank you.
If you speak English, right?
Yes.
If you have a problem with alcohol or drugs, now is the time for you to address it. Because stop. There's nothing that you can say at this moment. I'm warning you now, because this is the only one that you're going to get. I will do everything in my power to protect my city at all costs. I don't care who you are, what color you are, if you're a small farm animal. If I find that you're using, it's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now is the time for you to try to get any help if you need help, because I don't know you. I've never met you before. All I know is what they're telling me. And if that's in fact true, now is the time for you to address it. I am going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not consuming alcohol at any time. I will not entertain any excuses like it's mouthwash, it's a tequila lollipop, hair dye. I've heard it all, and excuses mean nothing to me. If you consume, it's not going to go well. Because of I don't want you in the car driving. You're not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you do, it's really not going to go well for you. I am putting now a restriction on your license that you are not allowed to drive any vehicle that's not equipped with an ignition interlock on it. If you're caught, and I'm sending this notice to DPS, so everybody, every officer in this state knows, if they pull you over and they don't see an interlock, they will take you to jail. Do you understand? And then you and I will have problems. Just don't.
Judge, this is Carla Lopez first,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you said no driving?
Correct.
Thank you.
And then a scram, please.
Yes, Judge.
You have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am. We will give you an application. You missed court once. A warrant is now in effect for you because you missed court the first time. I will reinstate your bond now, but this is the only get out of jail free card that you get. If you miss court again, you violate any of these conditions, you will stay with me. And I don't know who you have in this life, but if you don't have anyone to pony up $5,000 to $10,000, you will be stuck like Chuck until this case is over. Do you understand? All right, come up. We'll have you sign this. I need you to fill an applicable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Judge, on April 7th, 2025 in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a burglary of a motor vehicle call. The defendants were located and matched the description the complaining witness gave to the officers. The complaining witness stated defendants entered the vehicle and tried to steal it by breaking the ignition cover. The complaining witness stated her neighbor was leaving for work and it scared the defendants off. The defendants left a screwdriver in the motor vehicle. The complaining witness stated the ring camera at the audience. The co-defendant was found to have 2 key fobs on his person, and both key fobs were individuals. The screwdriver and gloves were found in the defendant's backpack, and a ski mask was found on the co-defendant's person. The defendant provided false information, and the defendant was eventually identified by mobile AFIS.
There's so many holes in this thing. I mean, how do we know it was him? Was he in the car? Where did they catch him? Did they go running after him? I mean,
Judge, if I can just...
it's a complete disjointed. Submit to you now.
Judge, the law enforcement officers were dispatched and were given a description of 2 individuals by the complaining witness who had it on a ring camera of the individuals breaking into a vehicle. And
Do they see him? Does the report say that they saw Mr. Patrick?
just a description given, Judge. And then the law enforcement officers on dispatch located the 2 defendants nearby.
Does it say that there, or are you assuming?
To Burley, they advised the last direction of travel being east of the residence and northbound intersection of Maryland. After a brief search, both defendants were obtained on foot, matching the description provided by one complaining witness. The complainant advised that they made entry into a vehicle and advised they attempted to steal the vehicle by breaking the ignition cover. Due to a manufacturing flaw, upon exposing the ignition, the vehicle can be started without the ignition key. The complainant advised her neighbor directly across was leaving for work, and both defendants began to leave on foot when they heard noise. And then they found a screwdriver was found on the vehicle floorboard. The complainant advised that her doorbell camera captured the incident and provided a positive description of both suspects, both being males wearing dark hoodie sweaters, black pants, both slender in build and being tall, and the one being tall and one being short. After a pat-down search of the defendant, defendant 2 was found to have 2 key fobs stuck into his pants, and one fob belonged to a Dodge that was connected from another burglary of a motor vehicle. That was not the charge you'd be here, Judge.
Is Mr. Patrick defendant 1 or defendant 2?
He's defendant 1, Judge.
He doesn't have the key fob. It's the other gentleman.
That's correct, Judge.
He's the one that has the stuff in the backpack.
Just want to verify that, Judge. That's correct.
Patrick, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. You live in Houston, dude. You don't live in another state. People like their guns and they like their cars. And when you mess with the wrong person, they're going to shoot your ass dead in a heartbeat to keep what's theirs. How many countless stories do you hear of someone running away from one of these types of situations? They get shot in the back. It's only a matter of time. Was this in the middle of the night?
It was early in the morning, Judge, around 6 a.m.
Patrick, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I am now going to put a whole host of conditions to make sure that you do not fall through the system or the cracks, because we don't need another statistic or we don't need another person dead. Do you understand me? The first is that you are not to hang around with the co-defendant in this case. You are not to use alcohol, illegal drugs, and I'm going to send you for a test right now because I want to know what, if anything, is in your system, and you're to come right back. Do you understand? If you fail the test, if you fail to come back, it's not going to go well for you. I'm now also going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know where you are at all times. One false move, you will stay with me. I need your help, Mom. I can't do this alone. You and me together, we can make this thing work. Tell me about him. What does he do? Is he in school now?
Well, yes, I'm in school, so he do go to school, but
Okay. Wonderful.
he did have sign up for a job, so he was looking for a job, so he do have a job.
What I was going to do is I was going to order him and only give him time so that he can go to school, and then he goes back home. And then he stays at home, doesn't go anywhere else. I don't want him out in the middle of the night. You're not to be in possession of any weapons as well. If I find that you have any weapons, if I find that you pick up a new case, it's not going to go well for you. I will protect my city at all costs. I don't care what you are, how old you are, anything. Do you understand? We will work with you to make sure that everything works together. I'm going to pay for everything so you won't have to pay for anything. I'm going to give you a lawyer today. So we just need to know what schedule. Do you work?
I work on Wednesday through Saturday.
And then you're out.
Then I'm off.
I mean, you're out like out working. My only fear is that when the cat's away, the mice will play. So that's why while you're at work, he stays at home. I'm going to test you like crazy to make sure that you're not using anything. Do you understand? You must stay in school full time. The GPS monitor will tell me where you are at all times. And if you leave school, try to skip class, I'm going to skip your bond. Do you understand? Okay. Shoot.
So, just a couple of years on, so told him that, you don't have to come to me right now, because we're not going to work for him. So, yeah, I wish to,
Okay, so let me get your lawyer. We got to figure out a schedule because I don't want him out just hanging around and doing whatever. If he gets a job, then we can work with a schedule. But other than that, I probably just got to stay at home. You know, I don't want him out just screwing around because, you know, okay, we'll work together. You must listen to Mom. If Mom tells me that you start acting like a knucklehead, you will stay with me and you will earn your degree with me behind bars. Do you understand? If she tells you to jump, you ask how high. Do you understand, Mr. Patrick? Okay. All right, Mom. Please, just hang tight and then we'll hook you up.